Hello everybody, this is Bulldozer Investing. Today is February 11th, 2021. It is 4:02 p.m. right after the market close, and we're into the extended hour session. We're going to go ahead, and this time we don't have as much list, so we can go quicker, so the video length would be much less. First thing off, if you are watching us from different platforms, please go ahead and click the YouTube link on the video, because I will put the timestamps on the video description, so you can go ahead and fast forward on the time bookmarks. Don't forget to subscribe and give us a like if you enjoy the content. Now let's begin. First up in our list is always VIX. This is the fear index, as we used to call it. As you can see, VIX on the daily had tried to cross over the 90 moving average, which basically got rejected, and close the day with a red candle. As much as the volatile the markets are, as you can see, neither the SPY is going up much or the VIX. As I've told you before, that this bottom lower channel, VIX is always going to try, and I don't think it's going to get in, but if it does, it'll try the bottom of the cloud, and that would be a big resistance. I think VIX is going to chill for a couple weeks here until and unless we see a formed rounding bottom, and we don't see that yet. And the moving day averages has been bearish. The MACD, stochastics, and RSI is still at bearish signals, so I'm not expecting much from VIX on the daily chart. We can go ahead and look at the 30 minutes and 1 hour, but I don't want to go ahead and zoom into levels. I think the daily chart it shows us a better direction of overall and where the VIX and the market is going to go to. Next up on our list is SPY. I've been tweeting SPY and the critical levels that we've talked about in the videos, and also as well as on our Twitter charts. If you do watch our SPY analysis on daily analysis, basically you'll figure out what the market is trying to do here. Now I see a rounding bottom forming slowly, but then I see this resistance right on the top channel that we drew. Now don't forget, the markets can quickly dive back into 386 or the 382, 383 levels in an instant, in an hour quick crash, and then pick up and resume. Don't forget that 389.14 is your level to watch out for. And if you look at the 30 minutes and you can see how well protected that level is, you might not be able to see it on the daily candles, but, and I'm sorry about the yellow box, but you see this area of protection, you see this perfect protection, and you see how it went up, touched the cloud, came back, got a support around these levels, and then broke above the cloud on the 30 minutes. Let's take a look at the hourly. On the hourly, let's go ahead and raise this up. On the hourly, you see well that the bottom of the box and the top of the box is going to be your trading range. You don't want to lose 389 or close the day below it. That would mean that you're gonna, again, we talked about the 383, and this is the daily, I'm sorry, I meant to look at the hourly. You're gonna close the day below 389.14. That would be a quick pullback towards the 383, 386 levels. So you need to watch out for that, and you need to, that's why SPY is being saved at the end of the day. You're not seeing the pumps during the day, because that would be a waste of ammo, and they're just going, and it's very apparent that every single day towards the close you get the pump, towards the close you get the pump. As you can see, the bottom of the box, top of the box is very apparent. We tried to go above the box and we came down again. We're very close at the top of the box again. I think that these two lines, this resistance line and the 389.14 levels, are a trading range for now. If we do close the day below 389, that's when I probably get worried about the levels that we talked about. It'll probably get down to 386, 384 in an instant. This is going to be like an hour waterfall sell, and then I'm expecting that maybe Friday and then Monday. My prediction for SPY towards the next couple weeks, as I've always told you, is the 402 level. I think that's what's going to happen. Let's go ahead and zoom in more. Okay. So what I think is a quick V-shaped recovery. We're flagging again. It's totally normal to crash back at 386, 383 levels, and then we're just gonna go ahead and pick up all the way to 402, and then 412 area, 423. 423 won't happen until and unless we have to visit this cloud top 376. So quick pull up, melt up to 402, and then slowly come back down to 381 to 376 area, and then raise up to 423 is what my scenario is. And let's see if that happens. But again, we're probably flagging, but we just need a more pullback towards 385, 386, and then we'll pick up. Okay, so that's SPY. Next up on our list is QQQ. And again, we're a little extended. Let me go back and fix this time extension. I don't know why it does this. I changed all my settings and it's not working. Now finally we have a green day on NASDAQ, and a lot of it is sector rotation and chip sector. If you look at Micron and AMD and NVIDIA, all these names, I'm not sure about AMD, I can't remember, but definitely Micron and NVIDIA, those chip makers are on fire today. As you can see, a well protection on the 100% Fibonacci level, 332.53, which I've told everybody to watch out for on the last couple of videos. I don't see NASDAQ falling as much as SPY, because SPY was overextended, whereas NASDAQ wasn't. SPY, we hit the upper channel. NASDAQ, we were kind of stalling. So I think NASDAQ can easily hit 344. It all depends on the NVIDIA earnings and how sector rotates from the marijuana and all the other small caps stocks. I believe that NASDAQ is going to pick up after NVIDIA earnings, and it's just flagging here. I'm bullish on QQQ because it's been lagging comparing to SPY and Russell. So that's my QQQ prediction. But if we do pull back, expect 324.98. So 325 would be the level to watch out for. And if it dips a little lower, it would be 322.65. But I think we're heading back to we're heading towards 344.75. So let's round it out to 345. Okay. Next up on our list is IWM, basically Russell shares here, Russell 2000. Russell, I think it's on a merge of flagging again, just like SPY. Guys, don't get suckered into all of these like, okay, market is going to crash. All right, we're topping out. Every time, you see this, every time we pull back, we come out harder. So it could be an evidence of like, a rounding top and then moving down towards the bottom of the channel again towards 215, and this could be with SPY as well. But I think we're going to pull up higher towards 339 levels on Russell IWM. I think we could fill the gap easily. That would be nearly the 9-day moving average on the daily chart, which is 220.85. Let's give or take 221. It's okay because I think at this moment it's probably flagging, and let me just draw this so you can visualize it. So you get this, right? This is evidence of a flag. Let's say the 9-day moving average moves up here, 222 levels, and then you expect a breakout towards the 240s. You might think I'm not always a bull or a bear. I'm just reading technicals here. If the flag just break down deeper, then you're expecting, somewhere around here, the 218 area. But as far as this the flag plays out, and as much as we stay above this 226 level, very critical on the Fibonacci terms, then we're good, and expect a run towards 240. I don't think the markets are topping yet. Next up on our list is Apple. As I said, Apple will stall. Apple will eat option premiums. Stay away from Apple options for now. However, I like this channel support. I like the yellow box support. Worst, it could just revisit the cloud top, but I don't think it'll happen. I think Apple, honestly, is ready for the next upside. I would say that you'll have a huge resistance around 140, especially 138 to begin with, because I kept telling you the reason is the highs of the post-split. We get a post-split run-up towards the 138 area, 137.95. So that area will be very critical. So 138, it'll come back, probably bounce again. Next, try the 140 level, bounce again, and eventually it's gonna go up to the 150 area. So slowly positioning. Let's go ahead and make this price. There you go. And I'm gonna go ahead and draw another channel for you here. There's a squeeze here. Okay, as you can see, you can count this as a flag or not. That's your choice. But if we get a support on the cloud top, or I'm expecting a support at the bottom of the channel, expect the candles to go a little tinier and then pick up. So Apple, I'm kind of saying that it might be ready, but MACD is still bearish, stochastics and RSI is not there, so I think we're going to have to wait till next week, because look at the MACD on the daily, it's still not there. If we were to analyze Apple on a shorter time frame, which we definitely can, let's look at the hourly chart. You might see some sort of head and shoulder play. I don't think it's going to play it out because the neckline is really low. The neckline is about like 127. I don't think the head and shoulder is very symmetrical anyway, so I don't think that's going to happen. What I do think is you just have to watch out for this channel. Okay. And that channel is just going to drag down Apple towards this bottom of the channel, which is about 132. So as long as we get a support in this yellow box, it's going to drive up to 140 and it's going to drive up to 150. Now playing options on this is very risky. It's because when it's in a motion like this, it's just going to eat up your premiums, which I think we are. We're in a motion of sideways motion, up and down days. We'll see 2% up, 2% down, and then like you look at the whole weekly performance, it's almost next to zero. I think we're just playing that. We need to form a bottom, just like here on the hourly, 1, 2, 3, the squeeze play and just ran up. So I think it'll be kind of like 1, the bottom of the channel, 2, bottom of the channel, and then it's going to squeeze out towards 150. Okay, just have to be very patient with Apple. All right, so next ticker is ABML, Amer Battery Metals. I'm not sure if this company is doing like EV battery, or I mean, I'm assuming. But the issue here is the merge on the MACD. Let's just, again, I hate Thinkorswim. I can't use other tools other than Thinkorswim. Maybe some platform maker sees my channel and gives me like a sponsorship or something and give me like a free tool. I can try their tool, but I hate the auto zoom thing on the Thinkorswim. Now let's coming back to our topic here. So on the daily, if you zoom out, we can even change this towards something like this. Oops. Something like this and something like that. You can draw this, various ways. It's fine. That's how I see it. You can connect the top and go something like this. Okay, so looking at this chart, you can draw any way you want, right? I kind of like this one better, so I'm gonna go ahead and draw it like this. It's obviously on a pennant, a squeeze play, trying to reclaim that 9-day moving average. It's gonna have a motion, maybe a false breakdown towards the 321. It seems like a cheap, price. As far as price goes, it looks the shares look cheap, but then again, you look at where it's coming from at 17 cents. Now it's like $3.93, $4. So that's a huge gain over time. So I could tell you this, if you just look at the chart history, just to be fair to the game, right? You always, just because you have a pennant, it doesn't mean that it's going to break out always, but it's going to waste you like this, right? Watch this play. Okay. So usually this is actually a rising wedge, but I'm sorry, this ascending triangle. And ascending triangles, the way they work out, let me take a quick snapshot over here. The way that they always work out is that because you have higher lows, it'll go like this and break upwards. But this is called a false breakdown, but it's a huge breakdown. It might be because of some news. But look at the protection on the 20-day moving average. So just because we're in a pennant and the price goes in and out, you have to look at the daily moving averages and then also the internals like MACD stochastics. It might do a false breakdown, which Palantir did, and then go ahead and struggle and then pick up, right? That's what you want to look at and always think of that scenario. So in this case, the breakdown, the price was about 144, 147. Breakdown happened and 100% drop to 73 cents, 70 cents. So 70 plus 70 is 140, right? So that's a huge drop. And then it just recovered its way up in a long time, and it might just eat your patience, and you're upset and you're stressing. So just to not live the same thing here, we have to take a look at what's going on with internals, what's going on with this huge pennant. Is the MACD ready? Is the stochastics ready? How much it can drop? How far the support is? MACD looks good. So I'm sorry, stochastics looks good. RSI is still over 69. It's strong. Okay, there's nothing wrong with stochastics and RSI, but the MACD could, you could live this, right? The MACD is still positive. Look at this, but you're starting to see some red candles on the MACD. I forgot what these were called. I'm sorry, I'm losing terminology. But anyways, just the bars, let's say, right? You're starting to form red bars, and same scenario here. So you might have a false breakdown and get a support around the cloud bottom, which is around 250. If this was a 100% drop or a 50% drop, let's say, so this is 390, right? $4. Because this could easily see $2, and the 50-day moving average can go up there and get a support and run crazy again. So all I'm saying is that the consolidation is with low volumes here. But on the other side, the sell-off was with higher volume. So I think this is not going to break down that far. Only thing I see is if false breakdown happens, maybe towards 320s and $3 at max, because you see this volume, it's all buy institutional. Okay, the sell came with it. It was a, falling wedge and then squeezed out. And then now it's just, playing that motion. Now let's go ahead and draw some fibs to see if my ballpark price numbers, so if I say like the false breakdown could be around 321, let's see how that plays with our Fibonacci retracement first. I'll draw the extension for the positive, like going upwards, but let's go ahead and do 490. So again, sometimes when I eyeball and look at the chart, most of the time, give or take, I'm pretty much close to what the mathematics say. So here I said $323 area, false breakdown, because I was looking at the 20-day moving average, and I was looking at the cloud top, and I was predicting somewhere around here. So now looking at the retracement of the recent run-up, I do see that between 50% and 61.8 retracement, so pretty close to the cloud bottom here. You're looking at that range if worst comes to worst. And it could look something like this. So let's draw another channel, and it could look something like this. So it could drop to this level at $3.02. That's always a consideration here. Now what I see as a resistance is right here, which is around $4. Now this line is not straight. Just forgive me for drawing a crooked line. I think this is more straight. I don't know. But around like 410, 415, so that's going to be your resistance. But the resistance, I'm going to go ahead and also draw an extension to see what's the upside. Okay. Now and don't get me wrong, I don't do financial advising. I just give you the scenarios, okay? And that is your choice to do your risk analysis, okay? And again, I don't know what the company is about. I don't know what it does, only besides the name that I saw, battery. I'm assuming it's an EV battery play. And this is not a financial advising. It's just I'm pointing out the risk. So this is how you invest. You first point out how much it could fall, how much it could go up, and then you can figure out how much you're going to invest, how much cash you need to leave out, and so forth. And from there, you do your own risk analysis and start investing or trading, whichever is your preference. So there you go. I know the chart is busy now, and I know that I've drawn a lot of lines here. What I'm expecting is that it will meet up somewhere here in the cross section around 330, worst case $3 even. Your resistance is sitting at 437, 482. If you're super bullish, I think 626 would be considerate, but if you're super bullish, it could come up to 858. Now, I'm not pumping the stock. I'm just looking at the waves here, right? The top, bottom, which is around $3. The top would be around 755, bottom back to 553, and then it'll just go up and meet that trend line will meet, and above 858 would be your target. But watch the waves, and I always say this, right? You have to watch the wave. So what I'm going to do is the negative Fibonacci level, I'm just going to delete it. I'm probably going to delete this right here. Let's stick with the trend. Let's delete this. Let's delete that. I'm going to fix this. I'm going to fix the zoom levels. And one thing I'm afraid of is the MACD, but we could live something like this. The MACD could stay positive over 0. But still you can have a huge drop, so that you have to consider. Now let's go ahead and take a snapshot. Reason why I'm going over such names on longer time is because I think there's a learning point to it. So you see the top goes bottom, comes up to the top, and let this be your mid channel. Okay, let this be your mid channel. I'm not sure if it's like exactly middle, but I'm just gonna delete that, so I just draw that so you can imagine that there is some type of midline, right? So here is a midline coming up. I think it's going to hit here where the yellow box is, okay? Maybe even a little lower to get you scared, and then pick up and get a resistance around the midline, and then eventually move up and down. So you see this motion of up hitting the bottom of the channel, top of the channel, bottom of the channel. Now you got a resistance on the fib levels that we just drawn, and so forth, but there's a motion, and these are good buying and selling opportunities. Okay, that's what I was trying to explain. Now let it be. I'm not telling you to go ahead and buy this, but I'm just telling you the motion of trading, the motion of how stocks work. Anytime you break above the box, anytime you break above the channel, that's where I get scared and sell. Now some people do you can add a study. You can quickly add a study. I haven't went over the Bollinger Bands, but you can quickly add Bollinger Bands. Oh, right here, right here. Now the Bollinger Bands are sometimes, you can go and ride over the Bollinger Bands. So that, I don't really, dig for them a lot, so I'm gonna remove it. I like the cloud better, I like the cloud better, and remove study Bollinger Bands. Yep. Okay. So I like to draw my own channels and follow up with the Ichimoku cloud, but that's the analysis for ABML, Amer battery metals. Always go for the American names. I'll stay away from the ADRs, so that's my advice. Next up is ARLO, and couple followers have requested this, so I want to look at what's up with the chart. What's up with the chart is a bullish chart. And let's go ahead and, like I said, I'll teach you the methodology that I use, and it might be right, it might be wrong. But first thing I look at is not the internals, externals. I look to see if I can find a bullish momentum. Okay, so here my eyes recognize the first thing is this channel right here. That's what I recognize. Okay, so we're above, we're basically hitting the top of the channel. Now we're getting close to the bottom of the channel, and that would be my buying point. If it breaks down, this would be your buying point. This bottom of the cloud, that red cloud, it's a strong, you look at this base, right? This long-term trading channel, I'm assuming a lot of volume is there, so that would be your target of worst case scenario. So you'd have to expect to save some dry powder and clean up your behinds, your rashes. So if you're buying here, you could have a danger of falling down here. Now I'm not saying it's going to fall. I'm just saying that when I look at the chart, when I try to do risk analysis, I look at the trading range that it's been sitting here for so long that I'm assuming that there's a lot of volume here. And I assume this channel, the trading range, right? You have the top, the bottom, the top, the bottom, and it's rising. It's rising, okay? Worst case is on a rising channel. If you fall, it could be bearish. Now, the descending channel is always the bullish sign, right? The rising channel is always the bearish sign to it. So there's always some bearish bearishness in rising channels, and you got to watch out for that. And that is where you need to watch. So this $5.50 range would be your worst case scenario, which would be a huge drop from $8 to $5.50. And do you have that dry powder? That's the question. Now, I said the chart is bullish. However, always do your risk analysis, and that's how I do my risk analysis before, digging into anything. I'm going over in my head and I'm saying, okay, how is the trend? What's going on? Now, again, I'm going to go ahead and draw another imaginary, like how my brain reads these charts versus yours, so you can compare. The next thing I see is that there's a huge run up and a flag. Okay, that's what I see. The first one was an overall look, and I wanted to do your risk factor, right? Now let's look at the bullishness. So up, down, up, and a huge breakout. I guess some news. I don't see a huge volume here. This would be a good volume, but pretty ordinary volume. So you sell that. You look at the volume and you sell it because you know that it's going to come down and revisit this channel. Now this area, this cloud top area, would be a buying opportunity. The 20-day moving average, the 50-day moving average right here, the pink line is supportive, but I like this opportunity right here, the cloud top, because you see this motion, the bottom, top, bottom, top, bottom, and then a huge breakout. So we're gonna take this base right here, the base of the pole, and we're gonna take that base and stick it somewhere here and see the length of where it can go. Okay, that's my next analysis. Okay, let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and draw the flag let's draw the flag. Okay, so and you can recognize this pattern in many ways, like this, right? You can recognize it and you say, okay, false breakout, like that. Or you can make this line flat. So that's why, like, there's many technical analysts, and it's how they see it. Okay, it's how they see it, and some people will have different drawings. So you can do it like this, and you can do it like this, and both of them will be correct. Okay, I like this better. In fact, the first thing I saw was that flag, but I like this better, right? So then what we do here is we have to draw another line, and just, I'm being conservative. I could have started right here. So I'm just going to be conservative. Take this pole. And it already reached that, right? So that's what I'm afraid of, is it's probably going to, if it goes up, it's probably going to revisit the $10 area. Okay. Now let's go ahead and make our extensions to the upside, assuming that the base is somewhere here. Again, roughly a ballpark. You're looking at the cloud top be your resistance at 902, 943, and 1076 will be your next upside. Okay. Now you can draw a closer extension within the flag, and this will be more accurate, but then your short-term targets will be a little off, or the long-term targets will be a little off because your extension is in the short-term range. So let's go ahead and delete this. It seems like the short-term range with this spike was pretty accurate. Now you can also do this extension, right? None of them is incorrect because off, rounding it off, you're probably going to be off like a couple cents here and there. Again, you see this can go, your ultimate target should be $12.30. Pretty much that long-term target was hitting the cloud top. This is a little above. So, you're going to go ahead and say the cloud top and the 50% Fibonacci levels, so from 911 to 928 should be your next target, but I would wait for a revisit of a confirmation of a cloud top, so it could go like this, hit the cloud, and then come back, or even a revisit inside the cloud. Okay, but overall bullish. Let's go ahead and zoom out, and let me go ahead and draw this channel that I see. Okay, so let's go ahead and draw this channel, and let's go ahead and draw this channel. All right, so you get to know what I mean by worst case scenario. So if we lose it and if we come down here, that will be your next buying opportunity. Top, bottom, top, bottom. Top would be your 1063, and an ultimate break out of the channel would be 1230. Okay. You can draw a huge extension. Again, you can draw these extensions any way you like because one way or another, they're going to hit the same spot. Okay, look at this. Where did I say 1233? And if you draw this extension, it just basically a couple cents off. Look at the 100% and look at the 50% where they meet. Okay, so no matter where you draw your extension, as long as it's reasonable, you see here like this 100% fib is hitting at 919. I said cloud top is 911 to 928, so somewhere around here should be your next move to the upside. Now that's what I mean exactly about. I had a question on YouTube. You get 10 great technical analysts, and they're looking at the chart. Will they get the same thing? Ballpark, yes. So you can draw your extension from here, here, and here. You could draw a pitchfork. Again, like all these methods, whatever method you're using, since these are all mathematically calculated, you're about to get about the same range of motion. So here on this, and I hate when it's red because it's negativity. So what I'm going to do is change all of these to blue because I like blue, my favorite color. Turquoise is my favorite color. So we're going to save this as a default so it doesn't happen again. All right, so you can see that let's go ahead and delete all of this, and let me just show you the pitchfork theory, right? Delete the extension, delete this bottom. So here you go. You're looking at the mid channel of the pitchfork as a great resistance level. So here's your resistance. Here's your resistance. We're at the bottom of the channel. We can break it. It closed down, so we need to pick up. So I'll have to wait two things. If you're going to get in this, you either want to wait till the cloud bottom or the cloud top, or get in this pitchfork and move next up would be $12, $12.30 where I told you. So how do you figure out the length in this? Again, you can draw this like, if I can draw it, there you go. All right, get this. You see where the time estimation and the price is like nearly about the same thing, right? So then we talked about the flag. You draw the flagpole and you put it up here. So your next run is going to be $11. But it got close, but it didn't get there. I'd say that $12, $11.73. So look above right here. This, if it moves up, I don't know about the speed, but you just have to watch the pitchfork because it's been rejecting the middle line, and it has been a support. So how do you know your pitchfork is correct? Because if you're hitting the support and the resistance, that means that your pitchfork is pretty accurate. Okay, so that's all. I know I've deleted some levels, but again, my expectation is a quick trying to get in the channel type of thing, and it's gonna hit like $9, anywhere from $9 to $9.23. So I was kind of, next up is Blink, by the way, but I kind of took enough time since we don't have many tickers to review. I kind of took this time, took this as to my advantage to show you guys some teachings that how I look at charts, how I see things. Blink is an interesting one because like the minute you're like, oh my God, this is dead, like this is dead, we're gonna go down, and then it gets a support. Look at the support on the 20-day moving average. But then where did we get a resistance? Off of the fib line that we drew, 54.32. Okay, now you're telling me where are we going to go? Where are we going to go? The most scariest thing about Blink, and again, I've been bullish on Blink and giving you like crazy targets, but one thing that started to worry me is this right here. Okay, now if we better break out of here, okay, because if we come here and go like this and like this and like this, and if we break down this semicircle, it's going to be a bearish drop. You don't want that to happen. So I always, when I buy stocks, I always think of multiple scenarios and don't cheerlead anything. Now, a lot of people are going to say, how come you're pumping FUBO? Well, what did I tell FUBO? FUBO was like 50 bucks. What did I say? It can drop down to 42.80s. It could drop down to even 38.90s. I've said that and it happened today and it bounced off of the cloud, right? So even though I'm in a stock, I see like 5 months, 6 months ahead of what could happen, potential, results here. I always say the bearish side to the things that I'm in, right? So here is a good support, okay? But this right here, I see the next move here to the 100% fib, If this is 64.5, so I'm saying 65 maybe. So the next move better be 65 and get a support here and run up. I don't want this rounded top to be the ending case for Blink, and you need to also watch for that scenario. Although I'm bullish on Blink, I told you the rounded tops are crazy. You don't want to be stuck in the rounded top. So what I see with FUBO, right? I mean, I'm sorry, not FUBO. Blink right now is this right here. Okay, this channel. Bottom, top, bottom, top, bottom, midline, bottom, top. Okay, so maximum side we can go is the bottom of this right here. Okay, so this right here, this line, or at least the 100% fib. Okay, now it might flag there and then run up. That's what I'm hoping for, but I don't like this rounding top. So let's go ahead and say it. Next bounce, next resistance, definitely 56.85. I think that 56.85 is eventually going to be a support, and we're going to head towards $65. Now from that $65, we're probably going to flag or the max run up. So if we break above that, we're going to get stuck at 68. So any break above 65, you're going to hit 68 and get stuck and start flagging. My ultimate target for Blink is 78.28. So we're probably going to hit the midline if we go break or get stuck at 100% fib. So let me get a picture and also draw this so you guys can see the visuals of my imagination. Okay, so go up and try right here about 65 something. So you see this right here, right? That's where we're going to go and flag. And basically what this is going to form is a dragon formation with a flag. And then once we base on this 100%, they get a support, the next run up, it's going to be 78. Or what it could do is just blast through and hit the midline where 78 is. So you have two scenarios. You can get a W flag on that 100% fib and hit right here at 78. Or, Blink can say, screw you, I'm drawing a W and just extending all the way to the midline of this pitchfork, which has been a crucial resistance. Okay. Now, if it breaks over, it can go to the top of the channel, which is right here, but I don't want to be that bullish. I always, I'm always cautious. Now, again, this rounding top, we should watch for. Okay. That's all I got to say. So that's Blink. I've given you my targets. Next up is 56.85, 65, and 78, but also watch this rounding top, which I'm not happy about. Next up is BNGO, and this is the third day, and I don't mind reviewing them because BNGO can change any second. This is the third day in a row. I don't like the MACD. Stochastics is still bullish. RSI is at the good strong levels. It's around like what, 65, so that's okay. I love this formation. I love it. I love it. I love it. Look at this. Powerful. If this breakout happens, the 9-day moving average closed above it. Unfortunately, we have a huge resistance at 1258 and 1333. I'll tell you what's going to happen in my book. Now, if it happens, it happens. But technically, from previous, pennants that I've played, and this is how the scenario will go. Let me make this like a little bit. It's too thick for some reason. Let me do this medium. Okay. So what's going to happen? It's going to hit, come back, get a support at the bottom of the candle body right here, go back up, come back down, and then have its run. So it's not just going to be, nothing just blasts off unless, BNGO gets good news or something, but I love this motion. Look at this. W, a complicated W, and you're going to break out, flag, and go for the next run. Okay. So let's delete all of this, and I'll show you where the next run is going to be. I'm super excited. Okay. So let's go ahead and see what's going to happen. Look at this, baby. Look at this. This beautiful technical. So don't worry if this is a false breakout at 10:55. So don't worry about that. I'll tell you one thing. Let's go ahead and take a picture of this, and you guys can see what I'm talking about. You'll have a false breakout, come back. This is a complicated W. Hit the 100%. You're gonna flag can go downwards or stay sideways. So those are two ways of playing it. Could be like a descending wedge. and then break outwards to here. This is, I've shown you this in Neo and other couple names. This one is a more complicated W dragon formation. You get the head, the neck, the first leg hump, the second leg, and then it always breaks out. You get the 100% fib level, you'll flag and then run up. So let's see if that scenario happens. Let's see what the price targets will be. My guess is that it's probably going to try the all-time highs, 1388, flag and then run up. But if it just gets a huge news, ultimate target is 1573. We'll see a confirmation back to 1333. Ultimate target is $19 on this one. Now we can change this pitchfork. Okay, let's change the pitchfork. Now that the chart is more defined, look how this worked out, right? It's gonna do the same thing. I love this name. Look at the dying volume. Look how terrible the sell volumes are. Look how powerful the buy volumes are. This is institutional. Okay. Let's go ahead and draw an extension. As always, again, I said, what did I say like a few moments ago? Your false breakdown is going to be this 20-day moving average. Where is this hitting? The $10.51 area. I told you like 10.55. That's your 100% fib level. Okay. Now your 100% fib level, give or take, our ultimate target was what? 19 area. And I'm going to take that even further and say anywhere from 2118 to 1962. Okay, that's going to be your ultimate target. I think we're heading there, but you're gonna have to buy this name and hold it for long. This is, look at PACB. PACB went flying nuts today after earnings. I think this company has potential. Okay. That's the channel. So we're underneath the channel and it's going to look like there's going to be resistance. Now let's delete all these fib lines because the chart has been busy. Okay. What's going to happen is, this is going to be a resistance at $13. Flag, get in. Okay. But I love this pennant. Look how beautiful this is. Okay. And we managed to stay above the 9-day moving average. So this chart is good. It's powerful, but then how much can you risk it? Because this was like in cents, less than $1. Now it's sitting at $11. But I love the formation. Okay. If you want to take a risk, that's all in this name. Next up is going to be CLOV. Now CLOV, I had like also a lot of close family members ask me this. My close friends have been asking me this. Yeah, there was that Heisenberg report. Yeah, there's some bearishness in it and so forth, but let's delete all of this. Okay. Let's draw new technicals. The 100-day moving average seems like a support at $12. I think the next run is going to be towards 1365 where the cloud bottom is. The cloud is still green, but it is turning into red. Now let's draw the channel, which is apparent. Okay. Now when I first look at the charts, I've told you many times, first thing I'm looking at is channels. Long-term formation. Okay. And let me actually grab this and delete this. You can draw this two ways. You can even draw it this way. It's a new company, guys. I mean, you have to give it some break. With the bearishness news, I think the bottom is this cloud top right here, which is about 1160. Okay. Let's go ahead and draw a line. Even let's draw it further, 1154. Let's do that. Okay. Which we've seen. It was a critical support, came back, hit the 50-day moving average, now coming back and getting a support at 100. Now, I mean, no offense, the chart doesn't look like a breakout yet. The chart seems like there's a support at 1150 and a resistance at 1367, which we've seen it. Look how accurate this cloud is. Sometimes you don't have to draw anything. Just looking at the cloud will tell you everything. Look at this flattened line on the cloud top and look where this candle had met. and look where this flattened cloud top on the red cloud is. Okay, span B, I think. And then look where it fell underneath it, but it was a quick spike. And look how the 100-day moving average has been a support, and the 20-day moving, 50-day moving average has been a resistance. Okay. Now we're at the support. Now, if this thing wants to go up, I see the top as 1332. If we do a quick wick and it just like pulls up, it'll be 1366. Okay. Now, if you want me to give long-term targets, as I tweeted before earlier, I bought this name for my kids, long-term savings. You look at this name, then you're thinking of very long-term play. My wife went to the doctors the other day and they messaged her like summary report, and guess where the summary report, who submitted the summary report? Clover Health. Okay. It needs to get back in this channel and slowly move up. I don't think this is, I dragged this and look like a very fool guy if I said like this is a cup and a big handle. I don't think it is. But it's a new name. I mean, it was $10 off of the warrant. It's sitting at 12. I think it's a value play at this point. Only thing that I would hate for it to do. Okay, let me go ahead and take a snapshot here. Look at this. Okay, this would be a head and shoulder play. I hope it's not. I hope it's just wave 1, 2, and then go up. We'll see how that works. Right now, I can't tell you anything other than support level is, the 1150s. It needs to break above 1360 to, go for a bullish run. I can draw an extension, but at this time, extensions don't matter because stock has been acting very technical. The MACD is almost ready. Give this guy a couple more days. Even after such a sell-off, that bearishness news, we get a good buying volume, and then the volume is drying off. This tells me that it's a good sign. But the stock has been trading religiously with the moving day averages. So 100-day moving average will be a support, and the 50-day moving average will be a resistance sitting at 1333. If you want to sell it, that's fine. The moving day averages are on a bearish crossover, so we'll see how that works. I think the stock needs to base. You know how I love the rounding bottom formation. So what I'm looking for in this name is this. You see how here you get that, I mean, of course it was a warrant before, but what I like to see in this stock is founding a bottom. Okay, so it could go up, down, up, down, up, down, and break the cloud and then go nuts. So it's gonna take, this range is gonna take a couple months, at least a month. So until and unless we see a clear support and a rounding bottom, and then you draw this and you buy it right here. Okay, now if it breaks down, that's a technical, I mean, 1 out of, let's say 1 out of 10, right? What is the probability of this breaking down? From this point of play, I've seen it maybe 2 out of 10. Now, I usually, if something goes in a strong rounding bottom, the moving day averages curl up, the MACD stochastics giving you buy signal, and you're breaking this downtrend, you're going to get 100% move on this. But then again, can you feel the pain of dragging and finding a rounding bottom within this name is all of your question. Let's wait and see how CLOV plays this rounding bottom, the break out of the downtrend channel with good internals and externals pointing out to a bullish scenario. So that's what you need. And I love you guys that you mentioned CLOV, because then here we are. Instead of asking me at the moon where we're going, are we going to Mars? You're asking me at the ground level. So that's how you play the game. You want to play the game at the ground level and shoot to the moon. And this is what you need to watch, this drawing. It's a messy one, but you get the point if you've been watching my videos, couple of my videos in a row. Okay. So next up is DraftKings, DKNG. Now sports betting is going to spread out. A lot of states are going to get in. People staying home are bored to death, and they're going to try to, I think it's going to be the next thing, because people, stay home COVID thing, they pretty much have been gambling and with stocks, and now they're going to go into sports betting, and it's going to be actually very satisfying for them. So let me go ahead and show you what kind of formations we see on this chart. Okay, so number one, this is called cup and a handle, and it couldn't break out, got a cloud bottom support, right? So this cup and handle did not work. So you see what I mean? When technicals don't work, they don't work. So this time it didn't work. So what it did is basically here fill the gap and then went down. Okay, so that's number one thing that I see on the chart. Okay, because I always look at the history of how it behaves. Is it erotic? Is it like predictable? Does it follow the technicals and so forth? Okay, so now the second thing we see here is inverse head and shoulder. Okay, so inverse head and shoulder right here. The neckline is breaking above, going there. Now it's flagging. Okay, now you can see that. Now I can show you the dragon formation, which is almost like inverse head and shoulder. You can say W formation. All of them kind of are in the same point. The head, the neck. Okay, you get the first leg hump, the second leg, and then go up, and then you have a beautiful flag. It's probably going to get supported at 61.8 or the 20-day moving average and explode to the next upside. I like the bullish formation on this. However, there's a rising wedge, and it could hit here and then a breakdown. So those are the scenarios that we are seeing. Okay, so again, let me repeat that again for the ones that are missed it or not concentrating. And I know I draw like a lot of things here and there, but here you go. So the danger into this is that you get a rising wedge. Okay, I'm not drawing it perfectly. Up, down, right? The thing is, you can go up and a breakdown and get a support at the cloud. So you need to watch for that. But I think that the ultimate target is still in the play, and I've given the ultimate target when we had that cup and handle, because you see this extension, okay, and it was here. You see the 50% and 60%, how that played out. When it reached, it went down, got a cloud support, went up to 61.8 again, got a support at 50, and got another resistance at 61.8, and so forth. So the fib lines are perfect. Let's not touch it. Let's just go ahead and zoom in and see what's going on. If I were to draw another extension, which I did from here, here, and here, you're looking at anywhere from $68.92 to $70 area. However, I do feel like there has been some selling due to the fact that I think we're nearing the earnings. Let's see how the earnings play out. Up, down, going up. So the next move I think is going to be up, down and get a support at 100, and then up. I am looking at this stock and I'm seeing 68.92, 70 on a long term. But I don't see huge buys. It's most of the time it's just selling. So there's Penn as well that we reviewed yesterday. You can compare the both. And you can say that this is setting up for a huge cup and handle. You can say let's take a moment here and take a snapshot. I see many mixed formations in this stock. So you can see a rounding bottom, okay? You can see this formation, and it's it's a run up and a flag, and it could go much higher. That's one thing. It could even go to the 261.8 or 216.8. Let me see what level that is. 261.8. Yeah. So that's the case here. If you're seeing this rounding bottom, you can say that this is a huge cup, and it could go for a handle right like this and just go up. But we saw that in this case, this cup and handle, it broke down, then went up. So it can go break down and do an inverse head and shoulder and go up. So all these are the scenarios. One thing that I am getting a sense in this stock is that this is a long-term play. And if you want to play the squeezes, that's fine, but you just never know how far extended it can go, right? So all I'm saying is this is a long-term stock, and my long-term actual target could be the $90 area. No kidding here. $90 target On a long term, maybe 1 year. Okay, but short term could be a lot of waves, and it's kind of tricky. So don't try to trade this. Just try to own it, and then you'll make money. Next up is FRSX. I can't make of the stock. Let's see what it is. Foresight Autonomous Holdings, ADR. When I see ADR, I'm always negative on ADRs. Kathy owns, I think, what is it? The autonomous one is ARK Y. I'm not sure. I can't make up which ARK it was, but I looked to see if she owns the name. That's one thing, but this thing is on a bullish run, but then also on a rising wedge, which you need to be very careful. Let's draw an extension here. The stock is bullish right now. And what happened with this is that it had reached its first target area, and that's when you will see a breakdown usually, and get a support here, maybe get a support at 9-day moving average or the 20-day moving average, which are the low nines. However, your next move up, I think it's going to complete its action at least to $15 and $19 area. But because it's ADR, it's foreign, I don't know which country it is. Like sometimes, the free economy, you don't want the dictatorship. You want the economy to be free and running on its own. You want to check its business partners. You want to check the volume. You want to check the growth story in the company. So just looking at the chart, I can only be bullish or bearish just looking at the technicals. But when it comes to ADRs, when it comes to small names picking up, this thing was $1.20 some cents November. Now it's sitting at $10. That's a 10 bagger. When I talk about these companies, I need to be very careful when I do the technical review. I see that the cloud top right here, 903, worst case 849 will be a good support. As you can see, it completed its run at 61.8. If it picks up, look for the 1224 area to be a major resistance, and then ultimately $15 is doable. I see that the buy volumes are in great sizes, and then the consolidation phase is basically just coiling, no sell volume. So you see this cup, and it could come down and do a handle and run. Very critical point. I'll just quickly do a snapshot here and just show you where the critical point is, which is at the 50 fib line. Okay, the rounding bottom. It could do a cup and a handle here, and then go up, but you got to watch out the bottom of the handle. If it breaks down, you can revisit this area. So always, always, always plan accordingly to the negative scenario and invest that value and save some money so that you can say, okay, if the bottom of the handle breaks down and it visits, what is it, like $6, $7 area, I can go ahead and, average down and double average. If you got in at 10K, I'm not saying don't put $10,000 here, but if you put $10,000 right now, you want to make sure you have another 10K for this stock, dedicated only for this stock. Because if you own many names, then you gotta dedicate some money to those as well. Then you gotta put 10K and double down, and then your average will be somewhere here. And if it goes back to 15, you can make money. But if you buy here, goes to 7, comes back here, I know what's going to happen is you're going to be like, oh gosh, I'm break even, I'm getting the heck out of this, and it's going to run to 15. So you got to watch out for those scenarios, okay? Next up is FUBO, and you guys know that I own FUBO on my Trading Journey account, and I've been posting lots and lots of technical analysis on Twitter, so follow me on Twitter for the charts. We've been always spot on. And remember just minutes ago, or the beginning of the video, not minutes ago, probably an hour ago, I mentioned that when FUBO was right here, trying and testing out this right here, what did I say? We have a danger of falling and testing the cloud bottom, which is sitting at 20-day moving average, or even the worst bearish case scenario, the 61.8 and 50 level, which is around 38 and 36. Did I say that? Yeah. But do I think it's going to happen? No. I think this is just forming the handle of the cup. See this cup and a handle. And every time we're in this wedge, we break out huge. Okay. Now let's take a look at the the length of this, okay? And let's just compare if we get a similar move to the upside, it is hitting the $67. So if we go to $67 sometime soon, somewhere around, here, $67, this length is perfectly fine. Now, if we were to match it here, and just to save us time, again, you might get $67 even pre-earnings. Now, I'm not saying go ahead and buy $60, $65, $70 calls before or after. No, do not take my words in the wrong content. I'm just talking technically how these squeeze outs can play, the wedge, falling wedge can play out. Okay. This is a purely technical chart. I think it has a humongous upside to it. I'm not just saying that because I'm in the stock, but look at the dying volume. Today's volume was a joke. There is no real sell-off. 8.6, this is like the lowest volumes I've seen recently out for this name. Look at the buying volume. Now the selling here was kind of mixed because it was like buying, this thing went up, and then after that it sold off. So I can't really tell how much buying and how much selling went on because it closed the day on a red candle. And it basically closed less than what it opened with. That's why it's red, but I could imagine there was some buying as well. I just think that the volume has been dying off slowly, and the earnings could be either the death of the stock, which my account will go down, the journey account, and I'll probably blow up the account, or is going to revive and hit $76, which is my target. Okay, that's where the pitchfork theory is pointing out to March 15, 76. If pitchfork fails me, we're hitting at 37. I think the major support will be right here at $30 area, which then I'll probably take out money from my actual account, maybe take 25K, and then just blast it on the journey account to average down. Or even maybe 40K, I don't know. At that time, maybe I'm so pissed off and I'm like, screw this. I'm putting like 40, 50K and then averaging the crap out of my position and then riding this thing till 76. Ultimate target on this one is $109.45. Let's round that off to $110, okay? This is going to be like Roku. And it's been like Roku. I mean, given the fact that this thing was $60 and it went up to $6 to 62, it could be a multiple bagger within a year or so. So this is not a trading name. This is a name that you hold. Now, if they do the sports betting and if they do, everything right, this thing can go up to 110 easily. Okay. Next up is JE. Let's take a look at that. Now, again, just energy. I don't know if this is solar. It seems like I've done this before. I want to be very careful analyzing names like this. As probably mentioned here, it broke above the thick red cloud. It got a 20-day moving average support. I'll tell you the best case and the worst case scenarios. I think this is just a pennant again. You just have to be very patient with this pennant. This could be a mini cup and handle, kind of like how FUBO is right now. It's exactly like mini FUBO, guys. Why is the spike here? Am I not showing like after hours or something? Yeah, it's showing after hours. So my bad on this. Why? I'm not sure why. And it makes more sense that we ran up in here. Okay. It's kind of like FUBO. Got a support at 9-day moving average, 20-day moving average, huge support. You're inside this pennant. You have to give some time. Worst comes to worst, you can average or you can come down to 669, and if it just tests the bottom of the top of the red cloud, which is at 546, that's like the ultimate bearish scenario. I don't know what the company is doing, so I can't really tell you, but the bullish scenario to this is $11.97 and ultimately $15.42. I think it's just sitting on this pennant. We have to hold and wait to see how this pennant plays. I can't tell you anything else because I would just be guessing. I would just be, you know, BSing. I like how this plays out. It's pretty good. But anything, we just have to watch this pennant, take a picture, and see the price action. And if this falls down, that's when you got to make sure that 6.68 holds. Okay? Or even at this bottom right here, like 6.5 holds, else you're going down. Okay? Watch this pennant very carefully. I like the fact that the name is out of this cloud, which has never been so far. Okay? And $15 will be the ultimate target for this. Assuming the fact that it had a pre-split and everything, so the stock has not been performing well, I'm guessing. I don't like these kinds of names like energy, solar stocks, wheat stocks that have been like, you know, reverse splitting and so forth just to stay alive. But if that's kind of your investment area, I wouldn't want to say anything. I just watch out for this pennant and how it plays, but overall, this company won't be something that I would be interested in zooming out and seeing, you know, this death of price motion. Okay, that's all I gotta say. Next up is MESA. How would I pronounce this? MESA. Okay. See, this is what I'm talking about, guys. Remember we talked about DraftKings, right? Or was it CLOV? It was CLOV. The chart's only similarity I see with CLOV is this. Remember I said this rounding bottom and this downtrend, and you buy right here. I've been saying this a million times, the last video and this video. Now, when you catch this formation and you see this cloud support, you see the 50-day moving average support, you see the MACD, you see the stochastics, you see the RSI, and you let me know, I'll buy with you. But the issue is this. You gotta have some major bulls. I'm sorry about, you know, saying that. Maybe ladies are watching us. So you gotta have some major guts to get in this name right here. A huge volume, yes, I agree. Maybe it was because of earnings, but this flag, so at least, you know, you gotta do some, you know, common sense, right? Look at this. Now, for the holders, I have nothing to say congratulations, but if you want to get in now, I can't say anything. You see this formation, you break out of it, at least, you know, get in here, but I just wait for that bottom confirmation, the cloud top bounce, the moving day average is going bullish, the MACD, you know, the MACD going nuts, this reversal, the stochastics, RSI, everything that you consider. Of course, earnings are always a danger, but look at this earning, up. Look at this earning, down. So earnings are always a gamble, but let's see where this stock can go if you were a holder. Okay. With all due respect to my technicals, look where we are. 1090 is, and I didn't draw this appropriately, but I could have, you know, went more, you know, clear, but give ballpark here, 1078, 109. So that tells us that we are at the, sorry about my dog, that tells us that we are at the resistance. Now next leg up could be 1386, but I'd wait for this to flag, fill the gap, or do something, get a cloud support, and then get in. Okay? There's no reason for somebody to jump because the owners of the stocks, owners of these types of stocks are selling the rips, buying the dips. Sell the rip, buy the dip, sell the rip, buy the dip. Okay? Simple as that. This is how you lose money. This is how you win money. You do your semicircle, you see the breakout, you see the internals, and then you dive in. Okay? Congratulations to the stockholders. I have nothing against this company, MESA Air. I don't know if this is like, again, sorry for my, you know, stupidity. I could be airlines, just guessing, I don't know. It could be an Argentinian Airlines, to my knowledge, or Mexican Airlines. I don't know. But anyhow, you don't buy at the top of the channel. You don't buy at the fib level. Now, on my saying, it could rip up and go to 1386, go to the next level, but this is just basically gambling from here. This is a smart investment. So that's what I'm saying is you got to watch the levels, you got to watch the Fibonacci, you got to watch everything, okay? So all it is I'll give you levels. 1386 is next up. Support level is 852. Watch for gap fill and a 9-day moving average at 3767. Next up is Palantir. Now this is a name that I'm carefully watching because I love this stock. I love the company, and I am just watching. You guys know how many videos I did from this right here to 28 levels all the way to 2250. I screamed my butt off. I said, do not trust those, analysts putting $12, $15, $18 laughable targets. This is going to go to 42, 42, 42, and look what happened. $45. Now, where would I buy this now? At $30. At $28. Now, I'm not saying it'll get there, but remember what we talked about: smart investment versus, smart entrance versus dumb entrance. This is dumb entrance. This is smart entrance. Now, let's take a look at the rounding bottom. Don't get hyped. Don't get emotional. Even if you like the name. I like the name. I took this dip and sold it right around the 90 moving average. I was like, oh crap, I missed the top, and then bam, it goes. I bought the dip again, and then I'm like, this time I'm not selling because it's going to go higher. It's going to test all-time highs. Guess what it did? Not only that I lost all my profits from this buy right here, I went and lost my profit from this buy right here. I was like, holy crap, what? I just wasted like 2 months, okay? But I knew that it was independent. It's going to break out. So what happened? It was just killing me. And I sold it right here. And then it went down. And I was stupid enough not to go all the way in. What I did was instead I bought options, went skyrocket, 1/700%er, 1/200%er. So I wasn't really upset about missing it. Even though I said it so many times that it's going to go to 42, I couldn't ride the thing till 42. But all I see here is rounding bottom, okay? So if this thing hits here, that's when you get in. If it fails, that's when you get your dry powder and clean up your behind. Okay, that's where the mass of the support is, right here. Okay. Now, getting here, playing that 20-day moving average bounce could get you here, and then you buy the dip at here. So it's all your choice, and it can all be a big flag, and it could end up being here and then go up. So you'd have to think of all these scenarios, okay? Looking at a stock, you just don't, some people are fearless. They buy. I just can't do that. I have to research. So there you go. You can go like this and break out. You can play this, and then break out. This is a huge, rounding bottom. So we'll see. But this right here could be a smart buy for the next bounce, seeing this top here or seeing it here. But again, that's your risk analysis. When I buy here, do I have enough dry powder or stomach to take the hit? That's all your choice. I like the name. I like the company. Eventually, 40 and 43, my ultimate target has been 63 bucks, and it's going to get there. Just be patient. Even 51 is doable at the top of the channel. It can go to 51 easily, but I like to get the confirmation around 30 bucks and then ride that thing up to 53. That'll be like a 80% or 75%, okay? I love the name. Love, love, love the name, okay? I know how this chart moves in and out, and I feel like it's going to revisit right before the earnings, the $30 or right after the earnings, just like the previous earnings. It was rising and then it dropped and then like 5% down at the earnings, then bam. I think it's going to do the same move. It's just going to go during the earnings, maybe do a negative 5% and then bam to 51. So you hold this stock, you accumulate and hold it long term, and that's how you play the stocks. No option on this stock, no option, accumulation, slowly collecting it, and then you're gonna laugh when you're at $84. You're gonna laugh. You're at $117. Okay, that's how you play this name. So next up is QuantumScape battery play. It's at our box, but I told you guys that there's gonna be a resistance and the 9-day moving average is still holding, but expect this trading range between the 100-day moving average and the 20-day moving average. I don't like to play the names if I don't, and again, I keep saying it, right? Let's take a look at our plan. If you hold the name, I mean, I can't say anything. I'm not, I'm not going to advise you to do anything, but if it contains and if it rips, so you get that semicircle, or it could just be like this, okay? So if it rips and all the moving averages, but we're not above the cloud, so it's hard call for this, but upside to this is all I'm saying is right here, okay? Which is sitting at 70 bucks, 71 bucks. I mean, the volume is dying, but the rounding bottom is forming. It's just going to take time. I don't like to buy things below the cloud. I don't know what their business is. I don't know what they're doing. It's a battery. I don't know what their valuation is. So it's a tough call, guys. I can't analyze something that I can't see. I can't see this. I can't see this going to either 39 or going to 51. I can't see it. Same thing, my friend kept asking me, Helion, Helion, Helion. I said, listen to me. The stock is hovering around 15. If it breaks down, it's going to go to 12. If it goes up, it'll fill somewhere between, there is a gap, somewhere between, like let's assume that this is the gap, right? I draw him the chart, and I probably drew the chart and somebody asked Helion on the video, so just take a look. So look at this, right? It's either going to go up on the cloud and hit 73 and maybe 82, or if it loses this trading range, even the 100-day moving average at 38, it's going to go down and visit 20. So between these calls, it's 50-50. You just flip a coin. And I said, that's what Helion is. It'll surprise you and fly towards 24. One day you wake up, you made 40%. Or one day you wake up, it hits under, it can't hold $15 range. It's going to go to $10, $12. Now that's a coin flip because I can't see the technicals. I told him that. And today you said you were dead on. That's what it is. I wasn't dead on. I'm just giving two scenarios. I didn't say it's going to go to 24 for definite. I said there's two scenarios, and that's what it is with QuantumScape. I can't see anything other than it's either going to go to 75 or it's either going to revisit this. I wish I had a volume range so I can see, but it's either going to be $24 or it's going to be $80. It's just stuck in between. You might want to get this checked for another chartist because I can't really evaluate this. Maybe there's somebody else that can see the chart better than me on this name. Next up is Tesla. So let's take a look. I haven't seen Tesla chart for a while. And I know I was analyzing this chart for some time. And let's take a look what's going on. MACD bearish, stochastics, everything is bearish. I'm not saying the stock is bearish. For now, the moment seems like the action, the momentum is seeming like it's bearish. I think the bounce is going to happen anywhere from 381 to 747. Is that the jet 747 or the airplane, Boeing airplane? So as you can see, this midline has been holding, so it's going to probably scatter the cloud top 747. In fact, even if it takes its time, I'd say like 764 area. Watch out for cloud support for the next run towards 925 and 921 to 950 area. Your ultimate goal should be 1182. However, I don't like this rounding top. All this Bitcoin news, all these screen glitch issues. I don't know if that's the case that's taking the stock down. I don't know if it's the case that Toyota said that they're planning on giving 3 or 4 different EV models that will be in the United States by end of 2021. That's a big play because if you ask me if you want to buy Tesla or Toyota, Tesla would be cooler. I don't have the budget. I don't like to spend too much money on cars, but if Toyota gives a cheaper option with better optimum battery life, with their well known reliability and coverage, then I'd go for the Toyota option. Like if I was a pizza driver or Uber driver, whatever, right? All due respect, that's your job. So if I'm charting, my job is charting. I have to get a good graphics card. I have to get good, CPU, RAM. So if I'm doing Uber, I'm doing, pizza delivery, DoorDash, I'd rather use Toyota. And there are more people who do Uber and DoorDash than drive Tesla for pleasure. So you get the volume of buying coming from the Toyota side. And then also, I know the hybrid tax returns, I don't know about EV, right? I don't know if Toyota, if the government will refund them with the EV differently than hybrid. So I don't know how that's going to go. If you get this triple bottom on this yellow box that I drew and it fails, you're definitely looking at anywhere from 760 to 719 area. That's what it is, technicals it is. So, I'll show you what I mean by that. So there you go. You get the first bottom, the second bottom, and the third bottom. And if that fit, it better bounce. If it drags here, it better bounce. If it doesn't, you're going here and here. Okay? Or maybe you're revisiting the cloud channel, the bottom of the channel. 1.5 billion or 1.6 billion to investment to a Bitcoin is going to either be like Kathy Wood, taking ARK to the moon, take Tesla to the moon, or it's going to drag the stock down. But we'll see. Again, Tesla could easily, this trading range, right? This trading range, if it breaks above the width of this box of trading range, you got to push that box up, and then that would be your next trading range. So let's take a look. This is a trading range. The width of this box will be the next trading range. So above 950, I'm estimating we'll go there. But that's if we can break this trading range above, so above 880. All I'm saying is I think it's going to revisit to 767. Okay. Tesla is, at this point, anything can happen. The stock can go to 1200. The stock can hit 600. Anything can happen with Tesla. That's your call. I like the Neo chart better. I do like American companies better, but if you ask me as a chartist, what chart is more clear to you? I think Neo chart is way clear to me. If you're looking at the valuation, if you're looking at the future, if you think Tesla has better future, that's no opinion, right? Just looking at the chart, two charts, and you have no clue what the companies are, delete the labels, delete the tickers, and just show me the charts, I would say NEO has a better chart. So that's just my opinion, okay? And my opinion is not a trading advice or investment advice, okay? So in conclusion, the chip sector went nuts. I think the silicon, lithium, copper, those sectors are going to go nuts. The silver, gold, all this debt, 2.3 trillion, and it's going to rise. Everything is just, to me, a big bubble balloon. The monetary system is a joke. It's not going to explode on us, but I feel sorry for my kids and my grandkids if they, if my kids ever have kids. I just feel sorry for the next generation, because this is just gonna, it's gonna cause another, to me, it's gonna cause another world war. Somewhere or another, give or take 100 years, the system has to be reset. And the Economist magazine and all these big magazines, and we have seen the cover on 2021, reset, the word reset. And this is not a joke, guys. The world needs a reset. Religiously, economically, mentally, tech-wise, everything-wise, the mankind needs reset. We need to think about where we're going. And whatever we're doing, it's not doing a good job to our planet. India, America, China has already been going over and looking at, evaluating Mars. People are already looking at Mars and seeing the future that the world is not going to anywhere better. So that's all I'm going to say. We're not doing anything good to this planet, good to our kids, grandkids, and we need a reset. And that's going to happen through maybe I might not see it, but it's going to happen. Um, just coming back to Earth. Sorry, getting off of topic. I just had to, let it out after speaking 1 hour and 20 minutes of technicals. I just wanted to get off topic and release some stress. But overall, what I have to conclude is that SPY is being supported. It's being pumped. I don't see the economy. I don't see the economy, or I don't see the stock market going down until we fix the economy. That's when the stock market is going to crash. That's when the balloon is going to pop. Until then, we're going to party like it's 1999. SPY is going to go to 423. First target is 402. We're going to party like 99. And we're going to get the heck out of the party before the cops bust us. Okay? Until then, we'll enjoy the party. And one side note, please don't forget to subscribe, give us a like. And the second note is that if you are requesting names through YouTube comments, I cannot see them. I'm not looking at them. Please sign up on our Twitter. Bulldozer_INVST is our Twitter handle. Go there. Look at the pinned tweet. If it's not there, wait a couple hours. I'll put it there and request your ticker under there. Only a single one because it's taking us a long time, and I'm doing a very careful job reviewing each single name out of respect so that I can cover everything you needed to know about the stock. Until tomorrow, have a nice day, have a nice night, enjoy your family, and we'll see you tomorrow after hours.